to understand this topic. So it will be the conclusion of our full class introduction. But to conclude, we have to talk about this keyword, lifestyle, where we have to start from the very beginning of why, of the premise that we set in the first lecture. We ask ourselves, why do we wake up every day? Or much more profoundly, we ask, what pushes us forward, or what are our life moving toward? By answering this question, one will finally have a goal. Where because of this goal, they then know what to do, or basically have a plan of a idea in their head of the things that they should do in every step of their life, so that finally, after going through each processes, they will then realize where this thing is for them. And in the first lesson, we established that what moves people forward are two things. It's merely by what they want. Oops. A one-dimensional thing, a two-dimensional thing that is easily satisfied. It can be the thing that you thought out on a whim, wanting to go to eat something, watch something, and do something that can easily be satisfied. Or even if something grander, traveling here and there is in the same kind of theme because it's a linear one, a one-dimensional one, whereas desire are multifaceted. It's much more complex, a idea that you want to get to. Even though we might know what we want, some people might not know. We might know what we desire, but we find that every day our life doesn't really move forward in these boxes. You find that you are quite stagnant. The life that you are living right now is quite reminiscent of who you are around 3 months ago, and you see yourself being the same. And you realize that if you don't do anything about it, you will somehow be in a same spot 3 months from now too, unable to move forward, stuck there. I'm always wondering every day how and when will my life get better. When will I get lucky? For example, when I get promoted or realize my goal. That's why lifestyle is important, to have a lifestyle that instead of pushing you to be stagnant or even worse, pushing you backwards, degrading you down. We want a lifestyle that want to upgrade you. Every time you move forward, you level up, and once again level up. But you know that every day that passes by, you are moving from one node to the next one, never stopping. Although the journey might be long, but you know that everything that you do serve a purpose that eventually will reach to the final goal here. That's why we have to understand the tools that everyone have, in order for them to escape or liberate from the state that they are now to the next version in the future. The example I gave was about a kid who go to school, a sixth grader who want to be a seventh grader. He find that to level up, to move from one state to the next one. 6th grade, 7th grade. He must do something about it. Next, the story we use to explain away the 6 different tools that we have within ourselves, and how humanity uses this tool unbeknownst to them to move from one state to the next one. Okay. We first have to once again recognize that there are many tools around us, be it people, things, or animal that we can utilize. This also not include different institutions, different stakeholders that it's our job to learn what what these tools are and what are the properties of it, the properties and the benefit. Properties, and to also differentiate them even further to see, can they solve my problem, or can they help me overcome my obstacle? For that, these two things are what hinder people from moving forward. And that's okay. I can record iPad and do it better than this, no problem. But for the sake of this class, the our goal is to escape, be it escaping from a life that you feel is difficult to endure, difficult to live in, or to elevate from a good life to a better life, a better one. No matter where you are, both of these people, although the reason is different, but they still want liberation nonetheless, to move from one state to the next one. That's why in Buddhism, out of 84,000 discourses that the Buddha taught, there's one that stand above the rest. We call that Thaisika, or the 3 different studies. In the study in the key tool that will bring about liberation, that have to work together in a process from one to the next, so that one can start the process of liberation and then bear the fruit of it. So in our example of a little kid, 6th grader, he or she first have to recognize and point out, meaning to research of what are the tools that he has at his disposal, and to understand their properties, their benefits, and categorize them. Are they going to help me solve my problem? Because these thing, people, animal, can help me tell me what don't I know or answer my question. Or are they going to help me overcome obstacle, the thing that I know of but can't get over? Once identified, they then have to change who they are as a person first. Although these tools are around us, but it depends on you yourself to be the one who actually go to these tools and find and utilize it. This is where the 3 studies here will aim to focus on how to be the master of yourself. But I find that even for us and for our peers, our friend, our family, the person who we are normally sometimes doesn't aid us in achieving what we want to achieve. Sometimes it wastes our time, sometimes it even hinder us, and sometimes it benefit us. We find that who we are normally shift from places to places. Sometimes we are someone who's quite productive, someone who bring prosperity, bring happiness to yourself. and conduct yourself in ways that bring about beautifulness and wholesomeness. When you're feeling like this, you find that everything you do, you're moving toward your goal. Most of the time, you have to admit to yourself that you're quite stagnant, and it brings about stagnation. You love to do everything that wastes your time. It might not be quite damaging, but ultimately, after 3 hours of binging on Netflix, you don't get anything out of it. And you find that you will please whatever desire aversion you have. Be it the fact that you study for 30 minutes and you want to take a break because your mind says so. You say, sure, why not? Even though you know full well that you still need to have an hour to complete the lesson. Or you find that if you do something bad, you're going to go far because your mind wants you not to do something bad. We find that sometime maybe like in a matter of a few days, we become someone totally different. That embody a self-imploding attitude where you're gonna find destructive to yourself. Do everything that rebels against the opposite one. Do something that will bring you suffering immediately. And you know that if you keep doing it, it will bring suffering in the midterm and long term too. And that will bring you unwholesomeness as well. So in order for this kid, this sixth grader, to make sure that he's ready on this point, or at least move himself up to this point, he needs to recognize who he is first. Because the more he do so and the more he highlight what his ratio of these three properties inside himself, he can then change who we are normally to make sure that at least he is this the majority of time, in the sense that in 24 hours, if you were to break it down, the majority of the time that he spent waking up, he's doing something that's going to help him pass the exam from 6th grade to 7th grade. Of course, we want to take a break, rest here and there, but at least definitely not to bring ourselves backwards too. That's why in preparation, our normality or sila is important as a good foundation. So now that as we practice ourselves to move up the ladder here, the more we embody this, the more you feel like you wanted to actually study, actually involve yourself in activities that directly aid you in taking an exam. That could be studying, that could be talking to your teachers, it could be researching, basically to enable yourself to utilize the tools that you recognize in the first place, to have concentration on it, on the tools that will help you solve problem obstacle. As you indulge yourself in these tools, these resources, you find that you gain something from it. Now you're learning something new. The wisdom that you gain from different people, different resources, different things, different animals, will help you become a bit wiser. Not only that, but reflecting on yourself will make sure that the thing that you are doing is it efficient or not. Is there a better way to go about doing so? And it is this wisdom that will help you look back at your normality. Look back at your normality, improve how you concentrate, and also at the same time look at yourself too, of how can I learn something better. So therefore, as we concentrate on these activities, we have to make sure that we can still become strong enough to go back and check in on ourselves, so that the sequence continues. It's a loop where by being more wise about yourself, you look back at your normality, which will help aid in concentration, then in turn boost your wisdom, and back and forth. And you have to go through this. The kid, the sixth grader, will have to go through this over and over again during the course of his term period, until one day after he goes through this countless time, he feels he's confident, ready, finally, like a well-prepared individual to take the exam up here, to escape, nah, to escape the life of bullying, maybe in his 6th grade, or to get a better life. But anyhow, he's ready to take the exam. This is where liberation come in, the process of liberating. Actually, as I said before, liberation is easy, very easy. If these three tools cycle through many times enough to make you feel confident, just like how the confidence of you decrease if you procrastinate and only study 1 or 2 nights before exam, compared to your confidence if you were to start at day 1 and just slowly picking up your knowledge and wisdom until the exam day. Right. When we get to this point, we just sit and do the exam. Because we have been cultivating our wisdom, the problem that we face can be easily solved by us. For that, we can answer every problem that we face. Concentration here talks about your capability. If you find that you can sit and study 24/7, and that is a high feat to achieve. If you never done it before, but if you do it many times, then it's become a natural thing. But you find that it will improve your capability to withstand against the suffering that you'll feel as you try to escape from your current situation or find a better life. Taking exam is also very stressful. But if you have that, you're not only wise, but also capable to make sure that this one is as smooth as possible. After you take your exam, then you're just waiting for your grade to come out to then finally enjoy what we call, how should I put it, the fruit, right? F-R-U-I, fruit of liberation. Not only that, you'll be thrilled, you'll find happiness, you'll find a sense of accomplishment, success, and fulfillment by knowing that you have passed your exam. And that's a given that you see your grade, but also you also gain a new life. A new life where you have to get to have new people to hang out with, new tools at your disposal, new knowledge, new prestige, new ranking, new recognition, everything new. Just like being reborn again, but a better version. New version. Only this, then will you recognize that, oh, today, finally, after trials and tribulation for many time, I finally moved from version 1 to version 2. No longer am I stagnant. I know that every time I move forward, I'm moving towards my final destination, my goal that I want to. And this is the proof that I've been liberated from process number 1 to number 2, and number 2 to number 3, 3 to 4, until you meet the final point. So you see that as you get new life, you start again. You find new people, new things, and animals, different properties, different resources to help you solve these 2 things, and you go through it again. 7 to 8th grade, from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, so on and so forth, until you finally graduate. And that's the final goal of going to school. That's why our lifestyle have to revolve around these 3 different studies. For that, these 3 different studies are the one that will help you start the process of liberation. As you finish doing this is the fruit that comes automatically, allowing you to have a new life, new tools, new access to do it again and again. This is why lifestyle is very important. Mm. But ultimately, for what is the ultimate goal that we all are looking for? What is this final goal that we are looking for then? Because if there's no one to help guide you, then you'll be someone who most likely go through whatever you pleases you at the moment, right? There's no sense of clear direction. You have a tool already to move up the ladder, but the question is, this ladder that you're going up to, uh, where are you going to? No one. Why are you going up here so that it will then actually make you go backwards? Are you actually going up here so that you're going forward, or it's an illusion that you're actually moving forward? You say that today I'm a taxi driver, tomorrow I'm a bus driver. In a social class, you're in the same social class. You're not moving up nor down. Sure. Now you might go up the ladder, but it doesn't move you that high up. Not too far up, not too far back. So, mm, okay. Now we're gonna conclude why the final part of this puzzle of why I said that we want to go through these processes for what end. The, there are a few relationships that I have to point out between these 6 different tools that we all use. Firstly, the Dhamma sphere here basically highlights and talks about all different tools that there are. That exist within our worlds. These different tools that we have, no matter what those are, these are just recognition and understanding that these two exist. But the 3 studies are always to manage and always to manage and operate these tools. That's why these 3 are important. Because we are able to properly manage and operate these different tools, it then will lead us to liberation and ultimately live, enjoy the fruit of it. As for these 3 studies are integral, that connects, is a link between all the tools that we have and our goal, the process of liberation here. But ultimately for what? Why do we go through these 6 different processes? For what end? We first have to understand liberation from what first. In the first half, I talked about when people want to escape, they either want to, liberate, they either want to escape the life that they have, for that current life brings them suffering. A state is hard to bear, hard to endure, or have to endure. Or they just want a better one. They don't find difficulties, but maybe there's something better than what they have right now. There are 2 types of liberation that people have to understand of. First one is called Nirodha, or in English, liberation from suffering. We use a tool called Nirodha, which I'll write later on, but it's a tool we use for this. The second liberation we want is liberation from different dimension. หลุดพ้นจากภพหลุดพ้นจากนั้น where this one requires a bit of explaining to do, but I think this one is straightforward. It is in how the words are being used. Okay. For that reason, we to find the different thing that we are, the different stages that we have to go through, so that we understand what is the end goal of this entire process. The first thing that we want to be liberated from is our bodily impurities. We call them in Pali kaya. Kaya means body, and bhavana. Bhavana here is to make it happen. Make it happen, or bhavana, or to make it happen. Meaning once you made it happen, you can utilize them for yourself. What does this mean? This means that you want to make your body happen, or rather to make sure that this thing is yours to use. Body is yours to use. For those who start off meditating, they'll find that when they close their eyes, they'll be met with nothing but suffering, as they might have to go through a bunch of hindrances, drowsiness, restlessness, sensual pleasure, ill will, and doubt. But as those are cleared off, they find that all they're left is bodily pain. They find that their mind are calm, but their body is still in pain. Not only that, but when you want to be someone who are able to go through all of this, it's very difficult sometimes. For that, there are bodily resistances, especially when there are mood feeling that arises to pressure you, both mentally and physically, for you to do it. For some people, there's a study between two groups of college students. It was a very simple one. There's two groups. The first control group, the first group of people, of students, all they have to do is to sit and not move, to sit still and not move. You guys can try to do that right now. And the second group is just sit, and they'll get electrical shocked. Not a lot, but a little bit, just to jolt them. The first group of people have to sit for, I think, 10-20 minutes, while the second group gets jolted. And these two repeat, kind of shift. Sorry, I'm not sure. There's a control group, and there's these two groups that alternate. Have to sit for 20 minutes straight, and have to sit for 20 minutes with getting shocked. Something like that. So at the end of the research, they asked all these students who participated, which one would you rather have? To sit for 20 minutes with shock every few so often, or just sit still for 20 minutes straight? Every student say, I would rather get shocked than sit still. Because when they sit still, there's no more vibration. Especially when you stop breathing, there's no vibration to mask the suffering of your body. That's why kids or people can't sit still. They have to move around, For that, when they move around, the other sensation covers the pain that they feel. But if you try to sit still, not move, I dare you right now to hold sitting here, not move for 5 minutes, you'll find that, oh my God, it's so fidgety, have to move. Okay, good. Because there's still pollution left. Which is why in the very first lesson, I talked about sila, normality. When you hold precept, like I mentioned before, you hold it so that every time you hold it, you tell yourself that you're a new person. The past mistake that you have done, the thing that you break, you can put it aside for now. For that today, at that very moment, you're a new person who are someone who a high virtuous person. No matter how low you think you are down here, as long as that very moment you make the oath, a vow to yourself that these 5 things I will not break. When you make that vow, you become a new person from someone with questionable ethic, questionable standard. Now you are someone who's above the bar. With that, people can feel a sense of being reborn or being someone who's pure. You see that this practice is quite common in many other religions too. A way to confess or a way to make sure that all the past is forgiven here and there, just so that they have this purity to concentrate on. And it's purity that they concentrate on that will clean the pollution out. As they find themselves no longer feeling like somehow their feeling have an iron grip onto them, they can start to do second pavana we call sila pavana, or making normality happen. Because your body and your mind are more and more under your control, you are then able to more and more move up move up the scale of normality from bad toward not good, not bad, but more of the good ones. Again, pavana means to make it happen. This will make you become more and more one with the good system and good instinct. Good intuition inside yourself, a good true self inside you. That's why good. Then for now, as you become more and more one with a system that will lead you toward prosperity, wholesomeness, happiness, you can then do something called citta pavana, or rather make concentration happen. When you concentrate on something, you are connecting with the one who, or becoming the one who is capable. We find that in all activities that people hone their craft on, they have to concentrate to do it again and again and again, be it athlete, musician, or otherwise. If they concentrate on their own craft, one day, eventually, now they'll be more capable naturally by themselves. As they practice on their own craft, they inherently have panya pavana, or wisdom pavana, or meaning making wisdom happen. They eventually become the one who connect with the one who is wise or have wisdom, or the one who knows. And these are the reason why we go through this thing. For that, if we go through all of this and get all this benefit, we will be someone who are to live our life with three of these different virtues. ความรู้ knowledge, ความสุข happiness, for purity. For these 3 attributes are the prerequisite for becoming your true self. Your true self, everyone here might have a version of that they have in mind, but in Buddhism, we say that everyone's true self are the embodiment of these 3 different virtues. For that, they have the utmost of wisdom. For that, they have the utmost of compassion and purity. You'll find that if you're not happy yourself, you wouldn't think about other people because you yourself are not able to deal with your own suffering yet. But if you find happiness in yourself, even just an ounce of it, people want to share with other people too, their happiness. The more they learn, the more wise they become, meaning that they are able to utilize what they learn, and purity too. Human world, we find that those who are suffering, those who want to be liberated, they are always looking for not someone who's capable because they are pure, able to do what they want to do. Not only looking for the one who's wise, but they are looking for someone who's compassionate enough to give them the wisdom and help them help them become pure so that they have capability to. You see that our world, without anyone with compassion, no one would survive. Having compassion alone is not enough. Wanting to help them, it's a good feeling, but it will not come to fruition if you don't know anything, are not wise, and are not capable. So therefore, to be the person that you want to be and the world's looking for, you have to have these three different components. For that, in Buddhism, we say these individuals are the one who who uplift the world. Kamjun is like a like Atlas holding the entire world on his shoulder, basically. You sure if you are the one who are in a position of authority, you can do more of this than other people. But even you yourself, someone you think mundane, but you can uplift yourself first and foremost, your own world and other people's world, your friend, your family, your loved ones around you. You will become this person. The scope, big or small, it doesn't matter. Everyone's looking for someone who's wise enough and capable enough with compassion to help them liberate from suffering and from the state that they're in, so that they finally are to have a new life. That's why, again, way of life or lifestyle is important. If you're able to make it make it so that these concepts can be utilized practically in your life, then everything that you do naturally run these different processes every day already, through making sure that your normality is the one that will aid you in this, making sure that your concentration improves in the right tools to indulge in and to learn from those ones, so that you can be all the wiser when exam comes around. For all these benefits and for this end goal.